The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Now the album's called Backburners.
Mm-hmm.
So is that because the whole album is made up of songs that were recorded?
They're all put on the back burner for one reason or another that didn't come out. So dates from 97, which is a track that didn't get on to Beeswax, so there was no beat for it. I just had the a cappella. Up to Back in 88 Part 3, which was written in 98 or something, but I recorded it this year, just re-recorded it for this album.
Yeah, wow.
So the in-betweens are anywhere 2003. They're sort of between more Bias Life, Been There, Done That time around there. Some tracks, I didn't like the backup. Maybe I said it wrong, didn't fix it. Other times I said something I didn't want and I had to go back to the studio, punch it in again. I didn't think it sounded as good as the rest of the track or something. I was being very picky with it, so all this shit just got put on the back burner. Well, then it's like the track you heard from Doc Felix. He was going to release an album or a 7 with it on it, which never happened. So I just said to him, well, hey, I'll release it now.
So what I want to do is I want to go through each track of the album and just get a bit of a backstory as to how each one sort of came together. So the first one, produced by Disaster, Never Gonna Stop. How did that one come about?
That was recorded about 3 weeks after In Bed With Bias was released, so at the end of 2003. And there's a line where it says, there was something about sitting in prison with Chopper with my fingers chopped or something, and it just sounded stupid. And then I fixed it and I punched in another one, a Checkers joint. It didn't sound right because it was recorded at 2 different studios. And it was probably a year later I go, oh, we'll try and fix it up again and we'll put this bit in. So I was never happy with how this bit was sounding. So that's just why it never got released, just for this one little line that I just couldn't get the sound as perfect as I wanted it to be.
All right, and then the second cut, 28 Flavors.
Yep, produced by Joel's. He did that Down Pressure compilation around 2002 or 3 or something, I think it was. That was just a weed song, which is it's about being in Amsterdam and smoking 28 flavours of weed. And around the Been There, Done That time, I wasn't smoking weed anymore. So I didn't want, I was having a kid and I didn't want to put it on the album. So I just didn't, so I just sat there. But I always liked it and I thought it was good, but just didn't suit at the time.
Track 3, I'm Not Safe, and that one's also produced by Disaster.
Yeah. That beat, when I finally gave it to him and sent it back, he said someone else was using the beat. Might have been Draft or somebody. I'm not sure if they did use it or not, but for some reason there was an issue with the beat that someone else had to have it or something. But yeah, I don't know. In the end, I just sent it back to Disaster. He said, cool, release it. Yeah, maybe he forgot after all that time.
And then track 4.
Calm Down.
And that one's produced by Jace.
Yeah. So that was at the end of, that was actually in the mastering suite when we were doing Been There, Done That. But again, I was having a kid and it's a little bit offensive. And it sort of goes at a few TV stars, a bit crude in a way. So yeah, so that's why that got dropped. And I thought I might get in trouble for it as well. And I thought because Obese signed, Been There, Done That, signed it to Obese, and if it does go well, then they might get in trouble and I don't want all the bullshit and conflict from it.
And then the next cut, also produced by Jace, I think. Yeah, Tables Turn.
Yeah. That's another one, sort of, it's about girls again, and, it was around that time of, trying to be a good person. So actually the track before as well, I took it, like it was about 6 years later, took it up to DJ Decide and he put the cuts on it. So the track was actually a span of maybe 8 years, that first one. And Tables Turn, it's just about a girl that, when you're younger and you want these real hot girls and you can't have them because you're not the cool bloke, and then you get older and things change and all of a sudden they want to, you be your mate and you're like, no, you've had your time. So sort of, it's not actually about somebody, it's a bit of a mix, but yeah, I thought people might get offended and I just left it.
And then the next one, Move Off the Pavement, and that one was featuring Bigfoot.
That was, I bought out a thing just on iTunes, which is called Backapellas. It was about 20 acapellas of mine. And Dave V in Brisbane did a remix of the original Move on the Pavement, and he sent it down to me. I was like, it sounds really good. And he goes, yeah, you want the beat, man, just have it, whatever. And a couple of people, I think I'd put it on Twitter, and a couple of people said, that's a really good beat, I should do something with it. So I just got put on the back burner, whatever. And then I was going to get Lazy on it, but Lazy didn't happen. And earlier this year I contacted Bigfoot and said, why don't you drop a verse on it? I think it was 2 days later he sent it to me and that was done.
And then track 7, now that's back in 88 part 3, and that features Reason, and that's produced by Jace.
That was, the original version of that was on the original beeswax vinyl that I bought out. Some stupid reason I thought it'd be cool to have some live tracks on there that sounded terrible. So when I was with Mixer and getting the old DATs together to try and find these old songs to see what we get for Backburn, I was looking for this song Sun Up to Sundown, which is a graph track, couldn't find it. But in the process, I found a live version of Back in 88 and the instrumental. And I was like, oh, hey, I'll learn the words to this one and I'll just re-rap it. And then as I was doing that, I listened to the chorus and I remember that I used to do a lot of shows of Reason and I had my original Back in 88. He had his own chorus that he did for shows. And then I copied his chorus for the number 3. So I thought I'll get in touch with him and I said, can you just rap over the phone? Do you remember those old words? And so I got him to rap that over the phone just to pay a bit of homage to him that he had his little bit in between.
The next one.
In the Heat of the Night, is it?
Yeah, and that's produced by Lazy Grey.
Yep.
But this is In the Heat of the Night too.
Yeah. So that was after Aerosol Era. So I think it was recorded because by the time you finish recording an album, then you're going to get it mastered and you're going to send it off. The rest, there's always a couple of little tracks that get recorded in between. So that was one of them, and then it just didn't fit for it to work at that time.
And then the next one, Too Deep in the Text.
Mm-hmm. That was an a cappella, which is on one of the DATs from Excel from back in those days. And I've been making beats myself for about the last, 4 or 5 years it might be. And that was one beat. The Bigfoot had said to me, it sounds really good. And I just looked at the tempos and just put the a cappella of that, and that worked.
And then, so when would you have done that, produced that particular beat?
Probably 3 years ago.
So that would maybe be the second newest
yeah.
on the record. And
all the cuts that Mixer do, that was this year. So the cuts and Bigfoot's the newest.
And then the second to last joint, Look and See.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that the one? That's produced by Doc Felix. Is that the one that?
No, it's the one after that you heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about that one.
That was just an in-between track. I think it was just hanging at Checkers' place. Doc Felix gave me a beat. It sounded a bit different. I got sick of rapping on the same shit. So I just tried to rap a bit different on it. And I just talk during the chorus. I never put the proper chorus on it. So that's why it never got released. And in the end, it was sounds all right with the talking. I'll just leave it there.
And then the next one, which is actually the last cut on the album, If You're Feeling This, that's also a Doc Felix produced joint.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise until just now, you got Bones on the cuts there.
Yeah, well, because Doc was I did the vocals for Doc, and he took it, he was going to release it. And then when he said he's eventually not using it, he sent it back and it had G-Force and Bones on it. He'd organised that and that was a part of his thing. I hadn't heard it. And then I got it, it sounds really nice. So he organised and orchestrated that bit. Is
there a particular song on there that's like a standout one for you, whether it's based on memory or just the sound of
Probably
it?
If You're Feeling This, it's a nice sound to it. There's some good cuts, there's a bit of talking on it. It's got a few laughs in there. It's not trying to over rap or anything. It's very relaxed and laid back. Because some of them, every record I could listen to, I could cringe. I can't believe I said that. And this has got them as well. But I'm at a point where I'll just release it, and people who've heard the songs, you got to release them one day. They're good. So it's a bit of tongue in cheek. Don't take it too seriously. But it's just I think it's the good thing with it is when you have an artist you used to like the way they sound, and maybe they've progressed to a different stage, and that's sort of taken them back. If you want the old bias, the In Bed with bias, there you go. You can have it again. So you can almost get that nostalgic feel back and remember those times.
The lesson. Oh yeah.